So here's the problem I'm dealing with. High beam is on, low beam is on. These won't come on at all. So somewhere something's wrong. And it all began when they redid the air conditioning of the truck. And air conditioning is something that, you can say the Army ruined me on this one, but I'll do 10 and 20 level maintenance stuff, but air conditioning's 30 level maintenance. I won't do that myself. But in tearing everything apart, they've done something to my wiring. And before I went to California, before everything, I did tear apart everything inside the truck and fixed all the wiring in there. So there's something out here. I am hoping it is simply just a ground that's wrong, because I've already checked all of the relays, and the relays are exactly as they should be. I checked wiring in that bundle up in there. That's where it should be. So my only choice now is to pull the batteries and then take a closer look at the wiring, take a closer look at the grounds, and just see what they may have messed up, because they would have taken off the whole front end to get the new condenser and everything in. So yeah, the joys of having someone else work on your truck. The joys of not being able to do your own 30 level maintenance. So here we go. Not sure how well I'm going to be able to get the shot of that, but that's one of the bulbs not fully seated. I was looking at the ground wire right there. That one's nice and tight like it should be. It's still tied into the headlight and horn harness, which then has this big cable here going to that battery, so that's all grounded like it should be, but that is probably my issue. I gotta pull the headlights apart and see what's going on in there. Did they put things in the wrong place? What did they do? So we'll figure it out. So there's a whole pile of brokenness in this thing. Don't know when that happened, but a lot of the stuff on the backside is snapped, so that's probably why that headlight's not staying in. And then I look down in here. What is this little brass thing holding on? Why is that holding on? I can't get this freaking release pin out because, give you guys more light. There's a brass thing on the end of that. What is that? Why is that there? But yeah, this headlight is freaking destroyed. Luckily it's just a stock one, so I can go replace that and go to AutoZone wherever. But I got to get that off first. So whatever that is, yeah, I'm able to get it. Vice grips on that little brass, whatever the heck it is. But yeah, there's that brass nut on there.
Yeah, I don't know how that got in there.
And now I can thread it right off. I don't know what the heck that thing is. Maybe it's supposed to be there. I don't know. The piece of plastic that broke is where it was. It seems like some little nutsert kind of thing. Probably what it is. It's why they do brass with a steel here, because and it shouldn't corrode and fuse itself together. You're open to the elements right here, so that all makes sense. Save those 2 pins. Bright light. Now, in theory, this whole thing should come out.
You got oh, you're almost to victory.
Almost, my boy, almost. It's still all jacked up in there.
Oh, jammed.
Yeah, it is jammed. I'm going to work on this. So you see all these tabs just snapped off. See remnants of them there. That was a lot of the plastic that was falling through. And those are just the rings that hold the bulbs in. How'd that get broken? Why is that broken? Nothing impacted this thing. Freaking pisses me off. So yeah, I gotta go get another headlight assembly. Luckily these things, being stock style ones, are available at O'Reilly's and AutoZone and Pep Boys and anywhere else I might want to go. But I do want to see. These things are usually pretty freaking solid. These aux beam headlight bulbs, nice LED ones. You can see the fan right there. It still spins freely. Found that cap all the way down in there. It should just screw back on. And they're very well built. I'll need to clean these up, clean a lot of this stuff up too. Yeah, put that back on there. There's the fan guard. Yeah, so that's back on. That's worthless. All of this is now worthless. Did I break how much of this in here? Yeah, freaking outstanding. That right there is where the brass thing is at. It's in here. So that's broken. Which means I can't put a headlight back in here without getting another one of these pieces. Luckily, it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. I should be able to get this. Where do I get it though? I don't know. But this whole piece is plastic. It's not the whole freaking radiator piece. I bet I can actually fish it out through this space. Have to look for that too now. Man. So I've got 2 bulbs that are working. Switch it, Isaac. I don't think this high beam one works. I think they switched the bulbs. I need to check my wire codes, because if I remember right, green is high beams, tan is low beams. I need to check my wiring diagram and be sure, but I think when they put things back together, they just put them in the wrong way. But why did they break one of my bulbs? And why don't those come on? Lots of whys. Just consulted my wiring diagram and I'm correct. High beams are light green, low beams are tan. They had it backwards. But whatever they did, they broke my freaking low beam bulb. Not sure why it's not going. I see minimal amount of corrosion on this ground here, but I don't think that would do it. Okay, now I am thinking it's a grounding issue. One of the bulbs is on this LED now, and that's after I played with this ground. So I might have to just replace this. There is corrosion on there. If I replace this whole line, maybe I'm in where I need to be. Alright, some terminals, a little bit of stereo ground cable, stuff I've had on hand for a while. A little more heat shrink, even though these are heat shrinkable. I've had problems with the crimpers on these things. And yeah, it's just a ground leg, but I think that corrosion that's on the ground leg that's on there now is the problem. So that's done there, and that's done there. Just gotta go replace that leg. That's why I don't ever throw things away. I've got boxes of old stereo installation scraps and junk, and look at that, it came in handy right here. Yeah, you see that corrosion on there? That may be all that's in the way of making this work right, because if the electricity doesn't have a good path, this is the blockage. So we'll see if this does it. Replace this thing in there where I've got it. That seems still pretty good. I don't see corrosion on the sheet metal at all. The other line, this line I think is the one that goes to the horns, the headlights, everything, because that's right there. Maybe just the horn, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it has that much on it, which makes me think it's just the horn because it's only intermittently used. Then it's not going to get a lot of corrosion because there's not electrical flow there. So I'm gonna go after this. Alright, some words of frustration. Simple headlight replacement for the 88 to 98 Chevrolets should be easy to get a hold of. I'm in the Salt Lake County. You would think there'd be a warehouse with these things available through most any parts store. The answer from O'Reilly's was no, special order from the manufacturer, Dorman. I use a lot of Dorman parts, don't mind them. Made in Taiwan. I have no problem whatsoever buying things from Taiwan because that's just sticking into the eye to China. Taiwan has been fighting the good fight against their communism for a long time. But O'Reilly's, all the rest, oh, it's special order from the manufacturer, we can't get them. And you have people trying to tell you, if you order from Amazon, you're a bad person because you're doing bad things to small businesses. But when your chains like O'Reilly's don't have, here in the Salt Lake County, a warehouse with this kind of common item available, what else am I going to do but go to Amazon? Amazon Fulfillment Center here in Salt Lake County had this. I ordered it last night, yesterday afternoon. Boom, it's on my doorstep this morning. And for half the price of what they wanted at O'Reilly's. Never mind, LMC Truck won $100 for it. There's my rant on that one. Why I will use Amazon, because they simply have what I need when I need it. It's a headlight. Shouldn't be that hard. It's a freaking stock replacement. Now, about this headlight. I have a theory here. These are meant for you to remove the grill, and then you can actually put it in, because you see the bracket, and this is the bracket that got all broken up. I don't know how this sunlight's working with this camera, but broken. So I'm not going to be able to just slip the headlight portion in. You got to pull the whole bracket off. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts that pull it off of the radiator core support, which is because you have the work grill, which had a 7x9 regular headlight, and you have these composite headlights like this. So that's what I'm after. Alright, a couple things. With this headlight, the 9005 and 9006, it says HB4, HB3, whichever number you want to use. They are specific to which one is which, and to which one fits where. So they simply crossed up the wiring. I mean, you got these ballasts and things here for the LED lights, but they crossed them up. That'll be simple enough to fix. What I'm screwing around with now is prime example of why it's difficult for a standard mechanic, you know, just a regular technician to work on my truck. See those brackets in there? If you know these trucks well enough, you know there's a piece that sits in here that's what's supposed to actually keep it into the truck. Well, I took where those mounted and I made my own little pieces of aluminum type brackets, and I put screws in where it's supposed to go, but those things are all wearing out, not working, so self-tapping lathe screw is going to hold that in. The reason I'm still playing around with this one at all is, you know, I don't want this shaking as much, but the reveal on the side here, I have to have that in. You see it's thinner up here and thicker down there. I need it in. So I got to screw with that some. Now that was a bigger production than it needed to be, but new hole, lathe screw in there, nice and tight. That should keep everything square. The reveal is much tighter on the side here. So now it'll be looking good again. Now it's just put everything back together. Okay, it's a lot of pissing around with it. You can see I put the halogen that came with it in there, so you can see that faint glow in the daylight. So this bulb's obviously done for. That's the one I found all broken apart and hanging out there. See how muddy it all is? They didn't put it back in correctly. I don't know what they did. It's funny, you can see the difference between one of these LEDs over a halogen. And yeah, that's pointed down a lot, but still, major difference. But this is going to cost me another bulb. I don't know if you can buy them in singles, but this will at least have me lights, because I am starting to drive at night again. It's that time of year. My final verdict on this: can you actually remove these without pulling the whole grill? Yes, but you better pull the top off, because there's a lot of interference back there with the different parts of this grill. And it's just easier that way to get it back in. So I'm going to put it back together now. Alright, there it is. It's in, and yeah, you can tell brand new versus all the faded stuff. Taiwanese replacements. I think a lot of the clearance issues I was having between the grill and the headlights and stuff is simply because it is all replacement parts. None of that front is OEM at all. I've replaced it all. So there's clearance issues, but it's in, it's done. I've got a halogen in there for now, so that means I do have headlights, and at least I'll be legal at night. Still haven't got those working, and I got to chase around again in the grounds. It's got to be the grounds. As I replace that ground on that side, I bet the ground on this side's got problems too, so I'll take a look at that on another day. But for now, that's where this meandering little video about headlight problems goes. I don't know, high beams and low beams are working like they're supposed to now. So if you come this far, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.